absolutely
indeed.
crushed that.
We
Hey,
are live, Canadian wine lovers.
Carl's Wine Club members, everyone across the country, welcome, welcome. Happy Sunday night. It's day 8 of our Pan Canadian Advent calendar. And yeah, we're revealing today a unicorn wine, a wine that is not supposed to exist. Something that, yeah, there's a lot of rare wines in that Advent calendar. This is the rarest of all of the rarest wine that we were able to get our hands on because of the whole situation about the vintage that is from. So yeah, it's really exciting for us to reveal that one. We have the winemaker owner in the green room waiting for us. But Mira Boucher, welcome. Happy Sunday night. You look like a hockey mom right there. Holy smokes, how was your
Yeah, we just
Sunday?
went for a walk and we were kind of chilly. I'm keeping my things on. And then I'm like, what do I have to complain about? In Calgary, it's minus 16 right now, minus 19. In, I don't know, Winnipeg, it's probably like minus 28. And here we are in the Okanagan and complaining it's a little chilly out. It's what, like 3 degrees?
Yeah, 3, 4
5
degrees.
degrees?
There's a
It might
little wind.
rain.
There's a little wind. There's a little nippy, but hey, you know what? Yeah. No complaint about that. So, Mira, I mean, it's been a heck of a first 7 days. We are now well into our second half of our Pan Canadian Advent calendar. So much fun. It is so much fun. So let's repeat a little bit the how we're doing that, okay? Because might have some new people joining tonight. I know that we're doing a draw every day, right? Where we have door
fun
prize.
prizes to be won. So leave a comment if you want to be in the daily draw from now
And
till
if
Christmas.
you're new, we want to know where you're from. We want to know what's in your glass today, all right? And for the people who are in from since day one, who have purchased the Pan Canadian Advent calendar, let us know. What I want to know right now, what is your favorite wine so far? Because it's so interesting to see and to know people have different tastes, people have different expectation. I'd like to know which one is your favorite so far. So yeah, Mira, how about your housekeeping? What are you looking for? What are you looking for tonight?
Oh yeah, well, this is a really cool story. So I'm looking forward to hearing about that from the perspective of the winemaker, because I've never heard this story before. Maybe you have. So can't wait to bring on the winemaker in just a couple minutes. Daryl's saying you look a little priestly tonight. Need a white collar. Yeah. I thought, oh, he looks so very.
I mean, I'm clean. I'm like, yeah. I mean, I feel like that too. Yeah, my soul is clean. But wait until I start. Wait until I'm tasting number 8, wine number 8, and I start swearing. So yeah, that thing shit can go sideways pretty quick here.
Something else I'm really looking forward to is, I don't know if Stacy and Jeff are going to be on the live chat, probably at some point tonight, but they took a look at what wine this was, and they happened to have the same wine going back 10 years in their cellar. So they have both those wines open right now. So I can't wait to hear a little bit from them as well about that. The 2000 Stratus was Jared's favorite so far. And
2007,
Lisa, 2000 Stratus White is still living rent-free in her head. Same here. We tasted it every night. I started to die off after night 4?
Not even. No, we crushed the bottle last night and it was still clean. So
that's pretty crazy.
To my opinion, yeah.
Steven's favorite so far. All of them have been so good. They all have incredible stories and incredible.
Oh, talking about that, Mira, how about I do a little recap? Are you okay with that?
Yeah, quick recap, and then let's bring the wine. Well, let's unwrap the wine and bring the winemaker on.
Perfect. Let's do a quick little recap. So day number 1, we started a few Sundays ago. I don't know when, but yeah, we started with Noble Ridge, the one Grand Reserve 2017 from Okanagan Falls, 93 plus point Carl's Wine Club. That was on night one. Night number two, we went all the way back to the Beamsville Bench in Niagara for Organized Crime 2020, the Secret Series Cabernet Franc, which is a unreleased wine, gold medal wine line and 93 points Carl's Wine Club. Night number three, we came back all the way to the Okanagan from Oliver, a back vintage library special release from Riverstone Winery, another 93 points Carl's Wine Club, the 2018 Malbec, which had a luxurious creamy mouthfeel that Mira still talk about almost on a daily basis. A big winner here, Riverstone, one of our winery of the year a couple of years ago. So big hit. Wine number four, we went back to Niagara, which I call the centerpiece of our advent calendar, Stratus White Blend 2007. Incredible 18-year-old white wine. Sauvignon Blanc, Chardonnay, Semillon, Viognier, and a splash of Gewürztraminer, 85% new oak at that point, and now just like singing like a beautiful, beautiful opera singer, or I don't know which kind of music, but geez, that is so freaking amazing. We had it open for 4 nights, and it was still straight as an arrow. So wow, Dean Stoica. That was wine number four. Wine number five, we hosted Janik Livera from Maverick Estate in Oliver. A 93 plus point open score, 94 plus potential in a 2 year period, because that 2003 Bushvine Syrah has so much purity, so much expressive Syrah characteristic. I was really blown away. One of my favorite. Wine, that was wine number five. Also available 2 cases of the 2020 of the same wine. Something really cool. That's what Janik did. So that was number five. Night number six, we went to Prince Edward County, the county of Pinot Noir and Chardonnay, the South Glow from Clausen Chase and our friend Keith Dyer, 2022 vintage, 93 points Carl's Wine Club, amazing, pure, salty, saline Chardonnay with oyster shell and beautiful texture in the mid palate, South Glow 2022. Yesterday, one of my top three wine this year that I tasted, the iconic Fairview Cellar, the Iconoclast 2015 vintage, not released yet wine, 75% new oak, 100% cab sauv, 10 years. I mean, richness, boldness, varietal specific, beautiful oak integration. I absolutely love that wine. So 95 points, Carl's Wine Club. So that was for last night. Now, wine number eight. Drum roll, please. Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute.
Mike is unwrapping at the same time as us. Some of you guys have already opened yours. Let's see, Carl Boucher. What do we have here? Da, 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 da. If you carefully studied the sizes of the bottles, you would know this is the tallest one. So that gives you a pretty big hint. There we go. Woo!
So, Tightrope Vineyard. So, Tightrope Winery, Riesling, the Fleet Road Vineyard. That's not what's special. All the wine that Tightrope makes are very special, but what is very unique and special, it's the vintage. 2024 vintage. So that's the kicker here. 2024, there was 97% lost of grapes in the Okanagan. So I mentioned many times before, there was only a few barrels of wine made here and there across the valley, but barely nothing made it.
The Okanagan Lake has not frozen solid since the 50s or so. And where we lived here in Trout Creek near Penticton, it was starting to freeze. which is a really big deal for Okanagan Lake. So we had 56 hours straight of minus 22 or under. Minus 22 is kind of where vines start to die. Like they can't live for long at those temperatures.
There's some high of minus 26. So we're going to have Lindsay O'Rourke, the winemaker, the owner, to talk about all of these, that very unusual weather event that happened in 24. And it happened that one of their home vineyard had a little block of Riesling to survive, and in 2024 they make a couple barrels of wine of that Riesling. That's why I'm calling it a unicorn. Like mind-boggling wine, so freaking exciting to be able to taste one of the very, very few wines made in the Okanagan in 2024. So yeah, that's the excitement. So now I have talked
you're
enough.
cracking it open. Okay, let's bring Lindsay O'Rourke on. Lindsay is a fabulous winemaker, super experienced winemaker, and they started Tightrope. Her husband Graham O'Rourke. Graham is also like one of the most sought after viticulturists all over BC. People know who he is because he has been tending vineyards for such a long time and doing such an amazing job with it. So the two of them make this incredible winemaking duo, and you get wines like this. It's pretty awesome.
Which is Tightrope this year, my surprise winery of the year, because the feature we did with them, we discovered some incredible wines that absolutely like surpassed my expectation, and it's so much fun. I
think they were our highest rated BC wine discoveries from one winery this year. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Is that fair to say? Yeah, pretty incredible stuff. So Lindsay O'Rourke, thanks so much for joining us. Lindsay,
hello.
How are you doing?
How are you? Good. How are you guys doing?
Absolutely freaking amazing. I have a unicorn wine in my glass.
I can't hear you now, Carl, for some reason.
Oh, can't hear me. Wait a minute. No, I can hear you properly. Just 1 second. Maybe Mira can hear me. Mira,
yeah,
you here?
I can hear you both. So I don't know if there's a way to turn up the
Mira,
volume.
I can hear you.
Oh, that's bizarre.
And I was hearing Carl up until I came on. So sorry, Carl, but I don't know what happened there.
Is anyone in the chat can hear me?
I don't know if that helps, but I'll take her out and put her back in. Let's see. Let's try that again. Is that better?
Can you hear me now, Lindsay?
No.
Holy smokes. I'm coming downstairs.
Okay. He's coming down here so we can all hear each other. Oh my God. We had this happen the other night too. It was kind of crazy in terms of the interwebs. Daryl can hear us all. So that's fabulous.
Oh, that's weird.
I see you're at the winery, which is super cool.
I am. It's nice and quiet here. There's no one here, so it's better than my house where it's multiple kids and dogs and kittens and stuff running around. So
I guess you needed someone to bring you your wine. So
yeah, I needed a wine.
Yeah,
anyway,
you needed your wine anyway. Downstairs. So I'm here.
Like our house up until 5 minutes ago, Lindsay, we had 4 kids about 10 feet away from me playing hockey. So
nice.
Sounds like fun. Thanks, Dean. You can hear everyone. That's awesome. That's
perfect.
Awesome.
Well, I'm here.
Leslie, good to see you. I was just saying that Calgary is very cold tonight. And so who are we here to be complaining about the cold in the Okanagan?
I don't know that wind, man. The wind's pretty cold, I have to say.
Yeah, but the wind, it's true. We have huge waves. It looks like an ocean on the lake right now.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
So
just
for people to put everything in perspective, Lindsay is right across the lake from us. So maybe if you flash your light, I can see exactly where you are. We're right across the lake from each other. Hey, happy holidays. That's nice to see you. How's as things are starting to slow down a bit for you? Everything is already fermented or almost everything in barrel. Give us a little update.
So everything's we had a very early harvest, so we had everything picked mostly by the end of or very beginning of October, which is really rare. The Syrah came in a little bit later, mid-October, but normally I'm hanging Cab Franc till the beginning of November. So yeah, it was very early. Everything is pressed off and is in barrel, and I'm just waiting on, there's a couple wines to finish going through ML, but otherwise, we're in good shape. So
malolactic fermentation, I have learned.
Yes, that's right.
She says it so casually. It's going through her mouth.
And so, from what I'm hearing across the board, I know in Niagara, it was an incredible vintage for pretty much everyone, hot and dry. Here, I mean, it's a bounce back vintage. It's a vintage with a lot of emotion for a lot of people because I think some of us, it's a couple years without a harvest, so everything has come back on track. So give us a little update of at Tightrope, what Mother Nature gives you and how you guys are bouncing back from these tough years.
Yeah, so there was a freeze in 23 that hit some growers, especially down south and up north. Luckily, we missed the majority of that. Our Syrah on one of our sites got a little bit of damage, but otherwise we kind of sailed through 23 with a pretty average sized harvest. We didn't lose any crop or anything like that. I think that's because of the lake effect, moderating the cold temperatures. 24 was different though. It got, like Mira was saying, it got very cold for quite a long time, and everyone up and down the valley got hit really hard. We lost almost, I think, 98% of our crop. The Riesling that we're tasting is the one thing that we got some grapes from, and then we have one grower of Pinot Gris that also got a small crop, but otherwise we would normally do, say, around 70 tons. We did 2 tons that year, so that's pretty typical across the board, I think. So yeah, 24 was a really tough year. So coming into 25, people weren't really sure what to expect. There was quite a bit of vine death in 24. There was the loss of crop. A lot of people were sort of rebuilding in the vineyards, whether they tore out vineyards and replanted, or if they were growing new trunks or layering or what have you. But the year itself, as far as a growing year, was pretty amazing. It was a little bit wet in the spring. But as soon as it, hit June, especially the end of June, it dried out, and it was just steadily warm all summer. We didn't have any crazy heat spikes. We didn't really have any, heat waves or anything like that. And so I was just at a grower meeting last week, and I think the accumulated heat units for Naramata were 1,800 or something, which, if people don't know, that's really big. That's a lot of heat units. Okay, now I can't hear you guys again.
No, sorry.
No, there we go.
There you go. So this is a Soyuz level of degree days at 1,800, right?
So it didn't, like, the summer didn't seem that hot because we didn't have those heat waves, but I think the vines like that, because if it gets too hot, the vines will actually shut down and they'll stop photosynthesizing. So the fact that it didn't shut down, I think the vines just carried on happy as can be, which explains why there was such an early harvest. And then also there was a really large crop for what vines were in the ground. There was a really large crop. So luckily we had a really warm year and we were able to ripen all that stuff really nicely. Like, I'm super excited about the flavors and everything coming off this vintage. Like, I have lower bricks, which I like as well, because that helps keep the alcohol down. But we have really nice, rich, ripe flavors on all the wines across the board. So yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Just to explain our listener and our viewers, the bricks is the unit measure of sugar in the grapes, correct?
Right. Yes. Yeah.
And for your big red, let's take, like, in general, like the Syrah, the Capsule, the Merlot. What is the bricks level that you are looking for specifically, like around ballpark?
So, I mean, I'm happy with, say, 24 to 25 bricks, because that's going to give you 14 to 15% alcohol. But often it takes up to, say, 26 bricks for it to be fully all the other ripeness parameters that you want, as far as flavors and tannins and phenolics and all those different things that make up the flavor of the wine. So when for instance, this year, Pinot Noir, which I like to keep at a lower alcohol, we were able to pick at 22.5 bricks. So we're going to have a Pinot Noir with a nice 12.5% alcohol. It's and it's beautifully ripe, and I'm super excited because it's not going to be hot. It's going to be, as in too alcoholic. It's a lovely wine. I'm pretty excited about it. So
I'm hearing, and I like to ask often, like, is there any rockstar grape varietals from the specific vintage? Because sometimes Mother Nature will provide some, it's like the content, but not all grape varietals are looking for the same thing. So I'm hearing
Right.
that Pinot Noir could be from your area on the Naramata bench. Pinot Noir can be a varietal to look for 2025.
So far, I think so. Yeah, from tasting what I've tasted in the, I mean, and it's young, it's still very young, but from what I'm tasting so far, yeah, I'm quite excited with Pinot Noirs and a lot of the whites I'm excited about. Sort of Riesling, Sauvignon Blanc, Viognier. Again, they all got really nice, ripe, rich flavors. So yeah, I'm excited about those wines. So
Awesome.
yeah, so we'll wait and see. We'll be bottling in a couple months. So the whites anyway, the whites and rosés. So yeah.
That's exciting. That's really exciting. We have members all the way in Ottawa who had a bottle of 2014 Riesling in their cellar
nice
of Guy Trobe. So now tonight, when they saw that, they opened out. They have both open, so they have a 2024 and a 2014 open.
Oh, that's so cool.
That is really cool. That is really cool. So let's talk specifically what happened in 2024. Where exactly your little block of Riesling survived, and what was the process all along? Because like I mentioned, it's a unicorn. You had everything you had from that year was almost right there in these couple barrels. So what was the treatment all along of that little unicorn wine?
Well, so so initially we didn't think we were going to be getting anything from anywhere, but there were a few. I mean, a lot of the vines survived a lot better than we thought. They ended up looking at normally vines will push around beginning of May, and by the end of May, they have a pretty good sized canopy. And by the end of May here in 2024, it was looking bad. It was not a lot of stuff had pushed. A lot of the blocks were looking severely damaged. We were thinking we're going to have to pull out, over 50 or 60% of our vines. But it was amazing. By the end of June, those canopies had recovered and we had massive growth everywhere. And that included in the Riesling. So it was a bit slow to start. And I think that's because there was probably some damage in the vine itself that needed a little bit of extra time to repair. And then it started pushing out new growth. The Riesling came through, out of all our varieties, came out the best. It showed the least amount of damage. And it had the best canopy and the most amount of fruit, which of course we have 1.5 acres, and normally we get, maybe 6 tons. In 2024, we got 1 ton. So that shows you the amount of damage that was out there. But yeah, the Riesling came through the best. I guess it makes sense. It's a German grape and it's used to the cold climate. So it's adapted to that. So yeah, the Riesling came through very well.
So you usually harvest the Riesling around what date? And did you harvest quite at the same time, or you had to push a little later because of the late start?
Yeah, that's a good question. I gotta check my notes. Let me see when we actually did harvest it.
Oh my God, I didn't want to put you on the spot
it's all right.
like that.
I was bringing my notes out just so I could remember. Yes, we harvested the sort of end of September, the 25th of September, which is actually not that unusual a time to harvest it. Despite the cold that we had in the beginning of 2024, the season was actually a really good growing season. If we had actually had more grapes, it would have been a really good season. And it was interesting with the Riesling as well, as because a lot of, I don't know how much people know about grapevine anatomy, but out on the canes, you've got all the nodes, and the nodes are where the leaves come out, but it's also where the fruit comes out. The first couple nodes on each cane is where the fruit grows from, the flowers and then the grapes. And each node has 3 buds on it. So you'll have a primary, tertiary, or primary, secondary, and tertiary. The primary is the most fruitful. You'll get the biggest clusters and the most grapes. But if that one dies off, then the secondary will push, but it's not quite as fruitful. And then, if that one dies off, then the tertiary will push, and there's often no fruit on that at all. So going through the Riesling, most normal years, the primary would push. but in a lot of cases we had the secondary and the tertiaries pushing, and they all come out at different times. So we had a bunch of clusters. So the flowering there, we had a bunch of clusters that flowered at different times and then were ripe at different times. So it was actually like a bit of a nightmare trying to sample to know when to pick, because he had some very ripe clusters and then some other clusters that are maybe a week or two behind. So that made for an interesting year, but in the same time, I think in the end, it sort of made things a bit more complex, because you end up picking those really ripe clusters along with those ones that maybe aren't quite as ripe. So you get a lot of the stone fruit maybe into the tropical area from the riper clusters, and then you get the sort of citrus green apple from the sort of less ripe clusters. So it ends up making, I think, a more complex wine in the end. But
definitely. And I'm talking with Peter Gamble, one of the Riesling rock star and consultant in Niagara. And he always says the way, because he studied in Germany, the way that he likes to do his Riesling is with multiple picks, especially like what you're mentioning, right? Some are going to be more ripe. So he gets, and even he was going to push some with a little bit of botrytis to give some texture. He's going to do his first pick very early to keep and preserve the zippy acidity that you're looking for. Right. And what I got in there, like to me, it's one, and we had a couple comments already in the chat talking about the bright acidity, which lifts the whole profile of that wine and makes it your mouth watering. But there's also texture in here. So there's kind of both, like the best of both worlds. That what I'm looking for a Riesling, bright, zippy acidity, but also texture.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly that. And I was looking, and we were talking about sugar earlier, and it was actually 24 bricks, which is fairly high for a Riesling. I would rather pick it around 22.5, but the TA is up around 11. So that's the titratable acidity. So it's actually, normally when you get bricks that high, you don't get acidity that high, right? Because they usually, as the sugar gets higher, the acid gets less. And I think that again is because of the, of just the way that the plants ended up blooming. So,
that's again, very interesting.
It's that lovely acidity that's just, it's so bright and vibrant in this wine. Yeah.
And the paradox in that wine, Lindsay, it's a 13.7 alcohol, which you would never guess. Absolutely. You can blind taste me 100 times out of 100 with that, and I will never, ever guess 13.7, because the TH is so high and the acid is so zingy, so you don't feel the alcohol, but the alcohol brings the texture.
Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, this wine is a full paradox on its own.
There's only a few grams of sugar in there. And for a wine that's the TA is, the acid is that high, it's very well balanced for a wine that has that high acidity but low sugar. What's that, sorry?
What is the RS?
It's 2.79, I think.
2.79. Yeah. What an intriguing and fascinating wine. Wow. I don't know. I would like to hear some. I would like to get some comments here from our people. But
so far, Carl recommended kind of like easy pairing with each of these wines, and tonight he suggested chicken satay with peanut sauce, and it sounds like quite a few people have tried that, and it's working pretty well.
Perfect.
Daryl's saying he likes his Rieslings a little more on the sweeter side.
Okay.
And this is definitely a drier Riesling, very acidic and bold. Stephen really likes it. And we also had an interesting side conversation about how someone was tasting this blind and on the nose guessed, oh, maybe a Sauvignon Blanc.
Oh,
and
interesting. Yeah.
It's interesting because after you taste it, you're like, no, that's definitely a Riesling. But I get what you're saying. Someone was pairing it with molasses gravy or something like that, and said, yeah, it definitely brings out some of that, a little bit more of that,
the fruitier side, like
I love this this Riesling too. And
I would like to hear from from Stacy and Jeff in Ottawa, see us the 2014 compared to the 2024. It will be interesting.
Did you have the 2014 earlier this year?
I sure did. We tasted it.
Yeah, we did both of
with
us,
the
I think.
feature. It was one of our options that we offer. That would be interesting to go back in our archive and see what was my score. But I give a 93 points to this very wine, Lindsay. Not only for its uniqueness and the rarity, but also because of this is gonna age. Has potential to age for a long time. Tell us a little bit more what we can expect over a decade at least.
Yeah, so we actually, so our first vintage was 2012. So we've actually still have some 2012 and a bit of a library wine, which of course, Carl, you've been dipping into for your club. But yeah, these wines are aging really nicely. They, you can taste it now. You're gonna get a hint of the sort of kerosene notes on it, the sort of petrol as the Riesling ages. The acid itself will soften slightly, but I find that it's not actually softening that quickly. So even the 2012 has still got some nice sort of racy acidity in it. You might get a little more honey character in it, which I've also sort of smelt a little bit on the nose on this one. I'll just touch of honey on there as well. But yeah, it should just, that backbone of acidity should just help this wine age for years to come. So pretty excited.
So we have here the 2014 has rounder feel, still holding up very well. I love the brightness and acidity of the 24. I can't wait to try it in 2035 with the 2035 vintage.
It'll have to be a thing you do every 5 or 10 years, right? Or maybe every year.
Well, if you all make it, if you guys keep drinking it, how about that?
Yeah. But the good news is most of some of these people on the chat right now are going to travel for Mira's birthday. The first week of August, they're coming to the Okanagan for.
I don't think they know they're traveling for my birthday. I think it just happens to be that weekend.
But I will probably gonna give you a quick call, Lindsay, and bring them over so we can maybe do a little bit of maybe a barrel tasting or a brand new tasting of something coming up with the new Riesling. But it is super interesting. This will age forever. I'm really excited.
Me too.
Before I let you go, it's Sunday night. I'm sure that you have other plans than hanging out with Carl's Wine Club members at this point. But I wanted to know: is there any new stuff coming up that we can expect for 2025, 2026? I mean, we geeked out on the Equinox a lot with the club this year. It's one of my top 10 wine of the year. By the way,
the Equipoise.
Yeah. The Equipoise Equinox, sorry. Well,
it's a weird name, so it takes a used to that one.
And it's also because it's a solstice probably today, or I don't know.
Right,
I'm all over the place. But the Equipoise, I'm gonna reveal my top 10 wine of the year on the 31st, and the Equipoise is on my list on my top 10.
Oh, that's exciting! Oh, awesome!
It is really exciting. So do you have it? So you guys are producing Barbera, one of the very rare producer in British Columbia producing Barbera. So is there anything new that you're working on? Something cool that our member can look forward to?
Well, we did bottle of 23 Barbera. That is not released yet. We only have about 60 cases, I think, of that one as well. We don't release it every year. We only release it in very good, really warm years. So we've got that for, that will probably come out in the next 3 to 6 months, maybe something like that. We're actually going to do kind of a fun wine this year. We're going to actually take some Riesling and do a sparkling, like just a frizzante kind of wine with the Riesling. So that'll be fun summer wine, I think. Nice. Otherwise, just sort of the usuals, I guess. I don't want to say the usuals because I'm excited about the wines that are coming up, but
you mentioned
the ones
that.
ones you're used to getting from Tightrope. Yeah, those will all be coming up this year.
Totally.
We won't have any 24 reds, unfortunately, coming out, but we've got some 23s that we bottled last year, which should be coming out soon. I do like to bottle age for at least a year before we release the reds. So
yeah, there'll be a bit of a gap on the reds there for a year or two.
Yeah, unfortunately, but yeah.
Darn it.
That's all right. Hopefully, a 25 will make up for it. But
Yeah, totally. It was a bit
Yeah.
more of an abundant vintage, that's for sure. I was just trying to find Carl's tasting notes on the 2014 if we had them. I'm pretty sure you gave it a rating or something. So I'm
Yep,
just trying to find it.
absolutely. But yeah, I mean, this is exciting. How's the Syrah is behaving from that rebound here? Because in Ontario, there's not a ton of Syrah growing there. There's not a ton of great Syrah producers. So our people from back east are very, very curious about Syrah. So a little news about the situation of your Syrah there on the Naramata bench.
Yeah, well, I don't know if people know, but Syrah is not very winter hardy at all.
Yeah.
Does
The
not
trouble
do-
child, right?
Yeah, it does not do well in the cold. And so we had an acre and a half of Syrah on one of our vineyards here in Naramata. It was on a bit of more of a flat spot, slightly north facing. And that Syrah got hit a little bit in 23 and again in 24. So we decided to pull that out. And we planted some more Sauvignon Blanc. But I also, one of our main growers was Dr. Paisley on the Upper Bench Road. And he has this really steep site, southwest facing. It's a beautiful Syrah site. Got tons of sun interception and lighter soils. And so it ripens them really well. And interestingly enough, his vines made it through the 24 winter really well. They had very little damage. They had no fruit, but the vines themselves had very little damage. And they got quite a good crop this year. So we've got some of that in the cellar.
So you've
as long
secured,
as we can continue our relationship with that vineyard, then we'll have some Syrah. So
that would be awesome, eh?
Yeah.
And that's surprising that it's on the upper road, though, on the upper side and not on the lake side, the lake proximity. Because I would like, before I let you go, just to mention, to specify a little bit the lake effect. What does the big body of water of the Okanagan Lake do to your vineyard? Because you are right on the cliff, right by the lake, right?
Yeah. Most of our vineyards are quite close to the lake. So the lake itself, you can think of it as a heat sink, right? So the lake is, well, I mean, it might only be 5 or 6 degrees right now, but that's enough to moderate some of the colder temperatures that might blow in. So as the cold air sort of settles into the valley, the lake itself will heat up the surrounding area, obviously until it gets so cold that it starts to freeze over, and then it doesn't help you at all. But for the most part, it's a very large, very deep lake, and so it holds a lot of heat through the winter, and that's what helps moderate the temperature close to the lake. So
yeah, that's why I kind of mentioned that was kind of a surprising that some vineyards survive up the hill, like up, not closer to the lake. So a very interesting fact.
Yeah,
here.
like even Nickel, their Syrah got hit quite hard. I think they had to do a total replant, although it was quite a bit of an older vineyard, so it may have had some,
Age damage.
Age damage, yeah. So it may have just not been able to make it through that cold snap. But yeah, like honestly, my Syrahs from the Naramata bench are my favorite from the Okanagan because it's sort of a Goldilocks spot for Syrah because it's warm enough to ripen it really nicely, but you still keep that lovely brightness to it. So it's more of sort of a brighter, more elegant Syrah than you might get in some more warmer areas that get into the more sort of jammy kind of flavors and what have you. So yeah, I'm excited that we can keep growing it here. I was quite sad thinking that we wouldn't be able to grow Syrah here on the bench. Not because
it's hard to argue
because of the winters, but what's that?
Yeah, it's hard to argue with your business partner when he's a viticulturist and he knows about what to put in the ground. And
the Syrah in that spot was probably not the best spot. I think to grow it here, you got to go in the right spot, and it seems like Dr. Paisley's vineyard is a good spot. So. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Very awesome. I just found Carl's notes on the 14 Riesling. So the 17 Riesling we featured recently gave it 93 points. At the time, the 14 Riesling you gave it 92 plus.
What did I say about it?
You said rich, concentrated, perfectly balanced, impressive weight and complexity. More to come until at least 2028.
There you go.
And then the let's see, we had also your that was the one, right? Tightrope. Yeah, tightrope.
Yeah.
We also, since we're talking about Syrah, that same one, that was a really cool thing Carl did, is he rounded up like library wines from a bunch of different wineries that members could have access to. So it was like someone had a case of this and a case of that, and people could like pick different things. So we had a Syrah from you guys around that time too. Where is it? Here.
Tightrope's
2014 Syrah.
Mm.
And Carl said, elegant, refined, is now mature and has a great deal of complexity. That was the 2014 Syrah. So it's really cool to see, like, you guys took a bit of a gamble, right? Like, you knew what you were doing because you had made wine, and Graham had been a viticulturist for quite a while when you started Tightrope. But you did take a bit of a gamble on BC as this amazing place and the Naramata Bench as this amazing place. And it's just so cool to see that now that things are
nice
selling.
Yeah, it all worked out.
Yeah.
I like to hear the word balance in your descriptors, because, you know, here at Tightrope, we're all about balance. So, you know.
There you go. Right.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
The whole
synchronicity here.
Yeah. Let's get my plug in there about Tightrope. So, you know.
That's it.
I love it.
Lindsay, is there any specific Christmas tradition at the O'Rourke on a yearly basis? Do you guys classic turkey dinner with some of the Tightrope wine, or you guys are more try to source for international gem, or you're more traditional? Like, how do you guys celebrate Christmas?
Are you talking about wine traditions? Well, yeah.
Both wine and food.
Well, let me see. Christmas Eve is always about putting the Christmas pajamas on and opening a single present. That's what the kids like, so we do that. As far as dinner, yeah, it's usually a traditional turkey dinner. There definitely has to be some Tightrope on the table, but yeah, I have a sister that's quite into wine, so she's often the one that'll be picking up the sort of international gems, usually some, you know, French, you know, Chablis, or yeah, something along those lines, or some nice Pinots as well. So, yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
we just got back from Burgundy.
Yeah,
we were there a month and a half ago, and going back with a bunch of members. We have like 15 couples going to travel with us to Burgundy in June 20. Yeah, in June coming up. The first cool. Carl's Wine Club international trip. We're bringing Canadian wines with us to do side by side out there. So it's really, really, really exciting. So
yeah, we did a Burgundy trip a few years ago. It was awesome. Loved it.
Well, I mean, sitting at the wall at the DRC, it's something pretty unique and really, really cool. And visiting Meursault and Vosne-Romanée and all of these beautiful appellations. So yeah, really cool. Lindsay, please, you say hi to Graham for us. Thank you for everything. Your amazing partnership all year long. And we're going to talk about the Equipoise on the 31st, which is going to be part of my top 10 wine of the year. But hey, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to you and all the family, to the team at Tightrope as well. Thank you so very much.
Well, you too. Thanks very much to you guys as well. And thanks for supporting us. I greatly appreciate that. And thanks to everyone online who's taken the time to listen to me babble on about wine. So I appreciate that. And yeah, Merry Christmas to everyone as well. And all the best for 2026.
Thank you very much. We'll be in touch.
All right. Sounds good.
Cheers. Here you go. Here we are. Well, now I need to know how that system works, because there you go. I'm alone now. So yeah, what a cool wine we have here. Our 2024. Like we said, like, it's one of a very rare wines from the Okanagan Valley in 2024. So I'm not sure where my business partner here is, but I'm feeling pretty lost with that screen. Yeah. So I would be really curious to hear your thoughts about the 2024. I mean, Riesling as often about, oh, not my style or not my, like, there's different style of Riesling, obviously. So this one is very young. But oh man, I love what we have here with the 2024. I think that this wine's going to evolve a ton over the years. And yeah, Mira's coming back here, so I'm gonna see the comments, and we're gonna close that up.
We're gonna
That's
do a. Oh, what happened
I
here?
have no idea what happened here. There you go. Thank you so much.
That's fun. That's fun. Wow, great stuff. So we also have a draw.
We also have a draw. Absolutely.
Door prizes.
Do love
I
the
still
asset.
need to email Jim and Tracy because they won for the second time. But yeah, for door prizes, we get to pick between an Enovino wine aerator, which is our favorite wine tool, decant your wine one glass at a time, and you can pick a surprise wine. So I know Dana won the other night, and she's getting a surprise wine on the way. And we also have a very limited edition club shirt, which, by the way, we're bringing back. So this summer, when we do the touring weekends, we will all have shirts like this, commemorative shirts of places we went. You know, kind of like a rock tour shirt, but with like vineyard names on it instead. Right?
Because that's what we do.
Yes. And we've also given the option of carrot chocolates, which are phenomenal. And Sandy took us up on that because she might be making chocolates, which is really good news for us next time we get together with Sandy. So yeah, if you haven't left a comment, do leave one and we'll add you to the draw. I think I've gotten everyone. So let's just share this wheel of names and let's pick the draw prize for tonight. There we go. Share.
There you go.
Share.
No, I think I feel so grateful to have the chance to taste a 2024 white. Yeah. The
so
rarity of that juice just makes me really excited, and to have the chance because we have one left, and to have the chance to put that in the cellar for 5 years.
That'd be so interesting. Someone said we should try and find all the wines that were made in BC in 2024 with BC grapes. And I'm like, unless you go to Vancouver Island or maybe the lower mainland near Vancouver, I don't think there's many. I think this is like one of maybe like 3 across.
Yeah, I'm not sure. And there was a few things who got blended, like the one who had ones. The quality
to stand alone.
Especially as a single varietal. I mean, there's very, very few, and it's interesting. I would like to maybe research a little deeper in that to see if there's how many there is out there, but not many. And you guys have one in front of you right now, and I hope you all enjoy. And understand how freaking rare and the unicorn this thing
special.
is. It is pretty special. Really, 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 really special.
All right, let's see. Drum roll.
Wanda, there you go. Woo-hoo-hoo.
My pen. I'm just gonna write that down. Wanda. I don't think she's here tonight. I think she's got something going on. It's really sweet. I love when you guys message us and say, tonight I've got other plans, but
yeah, sorry, I can't make it. So it's really, really cool. But we have such a great crew every night since the very beginning. It's absolutely amazing to share all of these discoveries with all of you guys. To hear your feedback as well makes me really happy, good or bad. I mean, we're not perfect. We put that advent calendar with our best foot forward, thinking that there's a great diversity in varietals, in location, in style. So I mean, yeah, I'm really I'm as excited as everyone every day to crack a new bottle just to see. Yeah, it's so much fun.
It's pretty fun.
So much fun.
And yeah, to have this.
So
Unicorn of a wine.
Unicorn of a wine, absolutely, and I quite enjoy it.
Oh, very much. I
Like,
totally enjoy it.
this is a 93 points Carl's Wine Club, and I promise there was no wine under 92 points to get into that lineup. So yeah, now it's your minute or two to cook me to comment on my score. So what do you guys think of my 93 points, the uniqueness and the rarity of that Riesling? I am all ears, so I'm excited to see what you guys are. Time to judge the judge.
Well, Stacy and Jeff say they love the diversity, and I agree. Like, this is what Carl is world class at, is curating a selection. I mean, you won what? Wine enthusiast, wine spectator. I always get those two mixed up, and he's like, "There's a big difference, Mira."
Wine Spectator,
Wine
Award.
Spectator is a little more serious of a publication.
Yeah, 2 years in a row.
But he won a bunch of Wine Spectator awards for his wine lists when he was curating wine lists for high-end restaurants, and now we get to benefit from that with the Canadian wines that he pulls together. We need to know what it costs. What's in my tipple glass, or what cost? This
Riesling. This Riesling.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is crazy, you guys.
Yeah, I know, right? And there's a few available.
There's some available.
So we can
I'm add it to the link in like 10 minutes. This is crazy. They're not charging
enough
what they could be. So don't tell Lindsay. We'll make it up for her by bringing her lots of visitors next summer or something. But we really feel like they could have charged a lot more. I think they're charging like $30 or something.
$31 including tax, I believe.
Yeah.
Something like that. Or $35, something like that.
Which is like what their Riesling normally costs. And I'm like, for something this rare, I think it should be more. And I would gladly pay more for that. But
little tip here as well. This Riesling, when it gets warmer, has a total different layer to it. A little bit of apricot. The finish gets some flintiness. Some like, oh my God. Like, I love when it warms up a little bit, the mid palate absolutely explode. So there's that blend of green apple, ripe apricot who comes out, a little bit of floral note, lime, like zing, like cut through the whole thing, but there's a little honeysuckle.
It's nice.
See, when it warms up, right?
Mike's saying it's easily worth 93 points, especially given the price point. So Carl usually assigns about half a point to the price point. If it's like a wow value, he'll be like, bump it up by half a point.
Yeah, absolutely. When people say, "Oh, why the dollar has to have anything to do with the score?" And to me, it's like, what? Like,
it does.
It sure does. It sure does.
Not a ton of difference. You don't want to say this is 100-point wine only because it's like $18. No, but it's like if it's normally going to be like a 92 points, and you find out that it's like $20 less than you were expecting, well, it's worth it.
All about the value perception, right? And when your wine over deliver big time, I mean, this has to be accounted for. I'm expecting much more from a wine at $100 than from a wine at $30. My expectations are much higher. So you better give me something much better. If not, you don't meet my expectation. My score goes lower, right? I mean,
so
it's a very
I mean, I don't know if they're gonna actually release this to the public in any way, but I know that the price that we've got it for is around
35. We have it, like we
have to double check it, but we were shocked because I think before tax it's 20 something, and we're like, I mean, for a BC Riesling and for something that's so outrageously rare, like that could be something very different. So Dana and Scott have enjoyed this style of Riesling, crisp and not too sweet. I agree. I think it pairs well with food, and it's just so refreshing too, right? And then Mike was asking what's in my tipple glass. I couldn't find a glass and I needed some water, so that's all it is. I was like rushing back from the door. Someone was just at our door, and I got
picking up a
tipple glass of water.
Yeah, no, and I mean, Usually I'm like Daryl. I like my Riesling with a little more residual sugar. I'm a sucker for a dry Riesling at the around like 15 to 20, like dry, but slightly off dry. Let's put it that way. But this, I mean, there's such an incredible minerality. The acidity is really high, but not austere. That's what I found with that wine. It's not austere, so I love a dry Riesling who's not over the top when my like it almost hurt my inside of my jaw, in my inside of my cheeks. So that's to me well balanced. And I think for one reason for that is the alcohol level is a little higher, and that bring a little bit more texture. It tames down the TH and it makes it more approachable in terms of a high acid dry Riesling. So I love that. So that's why I'm super impressed and happy. So usually I will attempt to rate higher Riesling with a little bit more touch of sweetness, but this, well, bang on. So yeah,
very exciting. You know what else is exciting? Carl and I were brainstorming our upcoming events. You're going to have a message from us very soon about touring dates this summer, and Tightrope was one of the wineries we said I think we really need to hit when we do our Naramata signature experience. Yeah, so more info about that coming soon. If you guys are planning trips to the Okanagan this summer, we're going to have a few different weekends where you can join one of our small group trips. And these are more than a wine tour. Like anyone who's been on one of these knows this is not like, oh, we stop at three wineries or 5 wineries. You get the normal average old tasting with the tasting room staff, and we just like go in and out. No, this is like you meet people like Lindsay. You walk the vineyard with her. If she's talking about what's coming up next year, she'll be like, let's just taste it right now in barrel or in tank. So we get the really special behind the scenes experiences.
And that's why we'll call it signature experience.
Signature experience.
Because that's what we do. And we're going to do Naramata Bench, South Okanagan, Similkameen, and Okanagan Falls. So there's 4 different destinations that we're working on.
And they're all separate days. So like separate weekend
so yeah,
days in August and September.
And all of these experiences, all of these signature experiences are going to be going to end at the end of the day with the dinner with the private chef
by the lake
at the Boucher headquarters, at the Cars Wine Club headquarters.
It's pretty fun and spectacular.
So
I mean, even on days when it's scorching hot, we get the fans on, we sit by the lake, it's covered, and we have incredible food brought to us. And that's where in a private setting, we can also taste more wines and more like back vintages and special things that may be not available at the wineries, but that we can explore in a more private setting. So it's pretty special. We did it in September with, I think, Jim and Tracy were here. There's quite a few members that joined us in these small group trips. And it was pretty fun because, I mean, as a group, we did things like take over a private patio at Linden Gardens for lunch and have local, wines from Black Market and other places with our lunch. Those kinds of things are pretty special and not something you can do if it's just 2 people touring, right? So we got to do some fun things.
So Daryl says maybe in 2027, got the Paris hotel yet. So Daryl, good news. We're down to 2 because I got some other option came in our way. We're down to 2. We have phone calls in the next 48 hours with these 2 candidates. And something's going to be confirmed.
He's talking about our trip to Burgundy.
Yes.
Which we do have a couple more spots left if anyone wants to join us for that. And it's going to be a bucket list, epic experience. We're just so excited for it. It's going to be.
Look at what you get in your Advent calendar, that experience, and let's translate that in real life. Overseas, Paris for 1 night and Burgundy for 7 nights. And it's going to be I can't wait. We're going to go back. Anyway, more to come on that.
I had never been to France until we went this fall. And it was like everything I've ever thought it's going to be, but more. better. It's like a soul home for people that are into wine and food, because everyone's into it. Everyone understands. You want pepper on your steak? Well, they might bring you like a selection of like 5 different kinds of peppers to try on your salad. It's just amazing. Anyways, Dean's saying it's making it hard for him to decide which signature weekend to choose from. I know, they're all so good. And it's like, we would love to say, let's spend a weekend and do all of the Okanagan, but it just doesn't do it justice. And the distances, you guys, the distances in our wine country compared to, let's say, like some of the, like if you go to, well, I guess all wine countries are rural, so the distances are bigger. But here it's quite a lot of driving between, let's say, Naramata Bench and Oliver. You don't want to spend 3 hours of your day just driving. So
that's the key in all that, Mira. It's to maximize the time you have with winemakers and winery owners and tasting, instead of doing that in a vehicle between, because when you leave a winery, it takes time to gather the group. It takes time to get from point A to point B. So the goal is really to focus in what a sub-region do the best and spend as much time as possible out there with the pros, with the winemaker, and like really like enhance the experience there instead of in the freaking vehicle. So that's why we're offering 4 different destinations. And while we're there, we're going to focus like we do at 3 different wineries, 1 before lunch, an amazing lunch, 2 in the afternoon, and we're going to finish that with a wonderful experience by the lake and a private chef. So
yeah, these are just some of the group tours we've done in the past. That's been a lot of fun, and they are not like a wine tour.
No, they're a signature experience.
They're definitely an experience and something you can't just normally do. And I think the chef thing is a real thing that adds to it. Jeanette and Danny were here for that. Jim and Tracy were here. Who else was here with us on the last one we did in September last year? It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun and not like any wine tour I've ever heard of.
Absolutely not.
It's pretty awesome. Well, it's so good to see you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by.
So, do we have another one tomorrow?
What's
Are we?
Our hint? What's our thing
another one tomorrow? Whoa! Before we
Club.
Let
me get you the link here.
We need to find the one word describing this wine in one word. So today I would say something energy.
Yeah, let us know what's your word about
energy.
This wine if you've tasted
it. That's my word describing that wine. Energy.
I'm gonna be a little cheesy and say balance because it's tightrope.
There you go. Good balance,
one, right?
Good one.
Yeah, I'm dropping the link in the chat. If you wanted to order any of this wine, it's gonna be there in about 10 minutes. I'm gonna just verify the price. It's about $30, including tax.
Over, I would say just under 35. That's my guess here.
We do have the price in our emails somewhere.
There you go.
So there's that. And drop your one word if you have tasted it. What's one word that comes to mind for you?
Yeah, there's that. And tomorrow. So tomorrow, let me think. Okay.
Verve. I like that.
Verve. That's awesome. So tomorrow it's a wine. It's the first wine of that varietal from that vineyard of that winery. So that wine, like this is the first, and this is a back vintage, and the first that winery made from that specific vintage many years ago.
So it's a back vintage.
It is.
And it sounds like a red because you say no need to chill and pairs well with beef tartare.
Yep.
Beef tartare.
Yep.
Okay. Now I wrapped all these wines. I looked at them 10 times. I can't remember which one that is.
So I know exactly which one it is. So it's exciting. We're going to have a recorded interview because our winemaker is on the road going to visit family.
I just realized which one that is.
There you go.
Thinking through the mental Rolodex there. Love the back vintages. Yes. And what's interesting is we had this wine side by side. One of the other wines in the advent calendar from that vintage.
Yeah.
They're so different.
Oh yeah, structured. So
yeah, this one that's coming up tomorrow is very structured, and we think is going to age a long time.
I guess still. So yeah, so here is for tomorrow. Can't wait to see you all, and yeah, feel free to drop comments. By the way, tomorrow we're starting a new thing.
Are we?
Yes, we do.
What?
A YouTube challenge.
Yes.
So
one of the things we'd love to do in 2026, you guys, is to share more of these behind the scenes things that happen. So, I mean, if you can come to a signature wine trip with us, or if you can come to Burgundy, you're going to be there. But if you can't, we want to share more of these incredible stories on YouTube. So we're going to start a bit of a challenge. We're going to post every day till we get to 1,000 followers on YouTube.
2,000.
Well, let's hit 1,000, and then once we get to 1,000, we'll do another challenge to get to 10,000. That'll be even better. But yeah, just to help us by sharing. If you think there's some good stories there that we're sharing.
So the way we want to do it, it's every day we're going to share about a different wine. I'm going to open a wine, taste a wine, talk about a wine. If it's not me, it's going to be Mira. It's going to be both of us. But every day on YouTube, we're going to share about a different wine somewhere in Canada.
See, that's a fun idea, Carl. What if like one day you share about a wine you discovered from Canada, and one day I share about one, me being the person that's not a professional at all.
Yeah.
I'm just
and sometimes together so we can talk about it. So we're going to make it different, but every day we're going to share about a wine that we open and taste on YouTube. So starting tomorrow.
Spread in the Canadian wine joy. Great to see you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have a great night, and we'll see you hopefully tomorrow.
Canadian wine lovers, Carl's Wine Club members. See you tomorrow.